hearts alive, firestorms, when they strike, you feel the love, sparks will fly.
What is the deal, beautiful people? My name is Ramon. This is Lifestyles Defined. Welcome to the Microsoft show. So let me just start out by saying, if you guys who've been around for a while, you know this is a, politically speaking, a Microsoft friendly channel, which pretty much just means we're Microsoft whores around here. Don't try to hide it. In fact, part of my New Year's resolution was to embrace other technology, which is why I don't hate Apple as much as I used to. I'm using a an Android phone as my daily driver. So, you know, I'm out there on top of the fact that Microsoft is doing their fair share of fucking up right now and waiting far too long. Although we get to see what's going on in a few days. It's going to be with us shortly. But yeah, I say this to bring home a very important point. People laughed at the Surface. They laughed at the Surface 2. They sat up in their chairs at the Surface 3. And now here we are today where flattery is, imitation is the greatest form of flattery. And Apple has been complimenting Microsoft with their iPad Pro. If you want to know more about that conversation, hit the main channel and search for Surface versus iPad Pro. And then here comes Google. You know, Google, I like Google's ability to just throw things at the wall and see what sticks. Some of it's dope, some of it's not, but it always keeps the conversation going. I like that about Google. Very rarely do I scratch my head at something Google does. And today, my friends, I'm scratching my head. I'm not exactly sure what the fuck this Pixel C thing is here. I can't. I think Apple did not do that good of a job at ripping off the Surface, but for face value, it doesn't matter what Apple does a good job at or not. They've got an insane market share and a following, a cult-like following that will buy any and everything whenever or however they say. So that conversation's mute. Here, I feel like Google needs to really justify this buffoonery. And before they can justify it, they need to sell me on the fact that Chrome OS is a replacement for a PC or a laptop. But even if they can get away with that, and I know people's, oh, I bought a Chromebook for $4.99 and I love it. Blah, 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 blah. Let me see you get some work done on the train. You know, but we've attacked Chromebooks in the past here on this channel. I still think it's silly. I think it's cute, but it's silly. I think Google belongs in the mobile game. That's where they shine. But I get it. Each conglomerate has to have a hand in mobile and desktop and TV and airplanes and cars. Whatever. I fully understand that. This, however, if we can get past that first hurdle of justifying Chrome OS, you come to the realization that this thing does not run Chrome OS. This thing runs Android Marshmallow. Now it's just like, boom, okay, what? Mind blown. I don't understand this decision. I don't understand it. So this thing's closest competitor is going to be a full-blown Windows 10 device. No compromises made. And you're gonna make it Android? So what does that do? Am I supposed to lose faith in Chrome OS? Are we moving away from Chrome OS? Because for a while it was tough to decipher the difference between Chrome OS and Android. Now it's even more confusing, and I don't want to give any brain power to it. So that's the first thing about this Pixel C that I really didn't like. But looking at the specs, it's a 10.2 inch tablet. It's got the NVIDIA Tegra X1 processor in there and 3 gigs of RAM. Standard stuff. I don't see anything about it that can't run Chrome OS, but it's not running Chrome OS. my bad, I'm trolling. It's got USB-C, which is fine. Yeah, USB-C, everything should be coming with that now. It's got this attachable or detachable keyboard that connects via a magnet, and that's going to cost you $150. It's also, when you lay the keyboard flat on top of the screen, it charges. I don't think there's anything special about this. Even when the keyboard is docked, it has this very weird look. Like it's nowhere close to as classy as something like a Surface would look. It just looks awkward. It looks like something Sony would have done with the Vios in the very first generation of hybrid devices. That's just what it reminds me of. I'm not a fan of the way it looked. Also, there is no angles here. And by angles, I mean one of the lessons that Microsoft learned with the different iterations of the Surface is that people wanted different angles. So the kickstand became more and more adjustable as they iterated in the product line. And that's something that you just won't have here. And that's something that Apple also did with the iPad Pro, right? There's no angles. It's just a fixed angle, and that's that. Screw yourself. So if you're 2 feet tall, sucks for you. If you're 8 feet tall, sucks for you. It is what it is. What I will say is that design, that tabletop design, definitely makes, and here's a Microsoft phrase or a concept, whatever they called it. This device is ultimately more times more lappable than the Surface, because the Surface, it's got the kickstand and then the main display and then the keyboard. So it's kind of weird to use in your lap. Although the Surface Pro 3 and the Surface 3 got a little better, here it's just a flat surface. So, you know, this is definitely something that I could see would be a lot more easy to use in the lap. But yeah, I don't, they're charging, the decision to charge, and I went on this rant as well when I spoke about the iPad Pro. I wish that Apple and now Google would have included the keyboard in the price of the device, because I hate that Microsoft charges for they charge extra for the keyboard. I feel like it should be the same bundle. One other thing that I'm really gonna nitpick at the device is the lack of a trackpad. I just can't. And I know some of you guys disagree with me, and I wish you would try it. Typing on a keyboard, because I've tried it with iPads. Trying to actually productively do work on a device that does not have a trackpad is so annoying. Because you're typing, and then you need to reach up. You need to offset that position that you're in. You need to reach up, touch the screen, fumble with whatever cursor is going on, and tapping and dragging and doing all of this. And then you have to put your hands back. It's just madness. It doesn't work. And it's crazy that not only did Apple get this wrong, Google now got it wrong. Don't understand. I mean, I do understand cursors on your mobile OSs, which is why Windows 8 wins every time. But hey, what did I say? This is a Microsoft-friendly channel, baby. I think this device is laughable. I think it's very... the fact that it looks like the Pixel C. I'm sorry, the Pixel laptop. There's where they got the name from, right? I think that's dope. There's some consistency across their product lines. I like that. I think for the Android fanboy out there, you definitely got to get this device. You know, it's okay. It starts at $499. It's not gonna break the bank or anything, but I'm not a fan of this. Yet again, no one wants to give Microsoft credit for anything because it's cool to hate Microsoft. But yet still, we've got the God Almighty Apple scrambling to come up with their rendition of the Surface. And then here's Google, not too far off, with the laughable contender. If you would call it a contender. My name is Ramon. Leave your hate comments below. Like the video if you like it. And if you dislike it, still like it. Come on, man. Help the homie out. I'm out of here. Peace.